Everybody that's live, welcome in, welcome
Bijan.
in. The
Oh
draft is
no.
on, and it's getting crazy. It's getting. What's up, Brian?
What am I missing
Bears,
here? My phone won't catch up.
Bears traded with the Eagles. Jalen Carter, the defensive tackle from Georgia, is going to the Eagles with Jordan Davis from the Georgia Bulldogs from last year and the Kobe D.
Wow,
And Bijan went to the Falcons before that.
what a draft!
All right.
Hey,
You know, Christian Gonzalez is falling to the Commanders. I'm calling it
I
now.
hope so.
That's our
I
pick.
hope so. Oh,
That's
that
our
would
pick.
that would be perfect. If we get one of the top corners, my top corner, that would be excellent.
what's your guys' favorite pick so far in the draft?
I'm still trying to. Well, Bijan at the Falcons makes a ton of sense. That's a great fit for Arthur Smith and what they want to do down there. That'll help out Desmond Ridder a lot. They're clearly not going quarterback. I like that pick a lot. I like C.J. Stroud. I love what the Texans did, grabbing Stroud and then jumping back up and taking Will Anderson. That's how you build a team right there. So yeah, I'm very happy for C.J. Stroud that he didn't drop. I don't think any of us really seriously thought he was going to drop, but who knows? Yeah. So yeah, it's been a fun draft so far. What was your favorite pick, Ellie?
Actually, I love what everybody except for the Panthers is doing because folks are swinging for the fences in this draft. And that's what, to me, this is what it should be all about. Like, go make your dreams come true for your franchise and your fans. Don't try to hit singles, right? Don't try to get an infield hit. Let's go for the big ball, the big fly, man. And every team is doing that. The Panthers did what they had to do. It was number one overall pick. I get it. They thought they got the best quarterback. I don't agree with them. It is what it is. But man, you hit it, man. The Texans getting their guy at quarterback for a franchise that's going to support him, and then trading back to get the other kid. I was a little surprised that Jalen Carter lasted as long as he did for as much pre-draft hype as he had. And then the Bijan Robinson thing is great for the Falcons. I felt like they needed defense way more than that, but hey, whatever. Brian, what about you?
I think the best thing is the trades. Like, I didn't expect all of these trades and the trade down, and then the same team would trade back up to get like another guy. So that was exciting. But I am more happy for you because your guy got drafted to the Colts, number 4 overall. I know you're excited for that. So it was good for you to get your guy there. But it really just the commotion of it, because these last couple of drafts have been quiet. It's just been like, standard pick. Everybody knows the pick who's coming. Like this one, you were literally like, well, I'm not sure who is going here. Who is going here? Wait, what? Who got picked? Who got traded? Like, this has been pretty cool. It's been pretty exciting to have there be some mystery about this and to see exactly like this Eagles thing. Like, I mean, good for the Eagles. Now, it's, we keep talking about our defensive line, 4 first-round picks. Well, guess what? They got a whole bunch of first-round picks on their defense now, and they've got some serious talent. So for anybody who thought quarterback in the first round for us and running back, that's not going to be good enough because other teams are loading up their defensive line. We need to get our offensive line together. Even though I do want Christian Gonzalez at cornerback, that would be amazing. But we got work to do in this draft if we want to compete.
I am a little concerned that Will Levis maybe be sitting there at 16. That's my only, if he gets past the Titans at 11, he's dropping like a rock.
He really likes mayo, so give him some more mayo. Maybe he can play like left guard or something.
Mayonnaise in his coffee. That's just a crime against humanity right there. I don't even know. It's like,
what's mayo in coffee?
I mean, the way I look at people that put pineapple on their pizza is with disgust, but mayo in your coffee is next level, right? Like that's unbelievable.
Exactly.
You're just trying to be different at that point.
Why would you do that to a cup of coffee?
We knew somebody was going to slide. We weren't sure if it was going to be Richardson or Levis. Clearly it's Levis. Now, how far he slides, I don't know, because who's the next team that's quarterback needy that's in play here?
Well, it's not even that, but I mean, the next team that's quarterback needy, I think, is the Titans. But I think Hendon Hooker is really in play for the Titans too.
Yeah.
Because again, he's a guy who probably needs to sit and learn for a little bit and pick up the NFL concepts a little more. But
they still have Tannehill, so that'd be perfect. He can just sit behind Tannehill for this last year until he heals up, and then boom, he can take over.
Exactly, but I think Levis could really slide. New England's kind of an interesting spot for Levis too. If If it's there as well, that could be an interesting pick. But again, I hope Hooker and Levis both get picked before 16 because that just leaves more players for Washington to. I mean, that's just making more guys slide to the Commanders. So
I was a little upset. The Paris Johnson Jr. got picked as high, but I mean, I knew he was going to get picked high. But excellent tackle prospect, and if he could have slid down somehow to 16, that would have been great. But I knew that wasn't going to happen. But still a little disappointed.
A lot of good tackles in this draft, though, in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah,
there's a lot of talent,
and we need to get
Darnell
some
Wright. Anton Harrison, Darnell Wright, Broderick Jones, Peter Skoronski, even though he's probably a guard. I like all those guys.
What do you guys think about if let's say we get to 16, we get our cornerback, right? It's Christian Gonzalez. He's there. We get him. What do you think about coming back into the first round to get one of those tackles? Because outside of like the top 5 tackles, I want to say, like there's a drop off, right? Like the next guy is down. Start.
I don't know.
I'm seeing guard for me is just as big a need. So if Skoronski or Cyrus Torrance is still there, because now you got to deal, like you said, with Jalen Carter now playing alongside Jordan Davis and everything you got going on in Philly. The Giants, interior defensive line is a beast. So, there's problems all around. So guard, I'm more than happy to move back into the first round for a guard or a tackle, or pick one at 16 for that matter.
I don't like the moving back situation just because, moving back into the round, I don't want to give up anything at this point for a lineman. But I also think we're underselling what the Commanders believe they did to the position. So I think anything's on the table at 16, and then after that, we just don't know. But I wouldn't assume that they see the needs the same as we do because I think they thought they had a successful free agency period. Whether that's true or not is another matter, but you just never know with this crew, man. So, Chicago's on the clock, right? So wait, Brian, the Eagles came up from one spot up because they thought Chicago was going to take Jalen Carter?
I don't know if they thought they were going to take him. The Eagles wanted him, so they moved up, and they picked him. He's walking up now and everything. But they moved up to get Jalen Carter. So clearly they targeted him. They wanted him. So maybe this tells us something about Jordan Davis that he maybe wasn't as good as they thought from last year, and he also didn't play a whole lot last year. Jordan Davis didn't. So maybe he didn't pan out the way they thought. But you got 2 first round picks. Yeah, 2 first-round defensive tackles.
Jordan Davis is a run stuffer. He's a clogger. Brian, I think you got a delay there, but I think Jalen Carter is a pass rusher, in my opinion, from his position, whereas I think Jordan Davis can do that, but he's really there to eat up blocks and things like that, So I think maybe it was just a different need from Philadelphia, but his health, he's got to be healthy for any of this to matter. So the Bears pick is in, by the way. Eric, who do you think for?
Who are the Bears going for?
Yeah.
Man, the Bears, maybe one of the wide receivers like Addison or Smith and Jigba from Ohio State to help out Justin Fields. You could go a lot of ways. I can see Christian Gonzalez going here. There's a lot the Bears can do here. Skoronski, it makes a lot of sense. One of the offensive linemen make a lot of sense to protect Justin Fields. So, I think offensive line or wide receiver most likely, but I wouldn't rule out a defensive back either.
Darnell Wright, offensive tackle from University of Tennessee to Chicago Bears. So he'll be protecting Fields up there.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Great pick. That's a great pick.
That was somebody the Commanders liked too. That was everybody had been reporting that that was a tackle target for the Commanders. So it these top guys for us are getting picked off one by one here.
But the corners are still there.
I like
Hopefully.
it. There's going to be a very good defensive back available at 16. Most likely a good offensive lineman available at 16 as well.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to it. Darnell Wright, I do like a lot from Tennessee. Probably a right tackle in the NFL.
Yep.
But there is nothing wrong with that because he can play and he can dominate. I mean, he stonewalled Will Anderson when they played, and Anderson even said he was the toughest matchup that he faced all year. So that's a great pick for somebody get that. That's a great pick for Chicago. It's a great, I'm sure Justin Fields is happy. It's going to be, looking forward to seeing Chicago on the field. I want to see Fields progress as a passer this year, and being upright will be. I saw a headline. It was like a fake headline from the Onion, but it was like Chicago Bears are focusing on players that can help up Justin Fields after he gets sacked this year. So hopefully that's not the case.
Give the Bears
Wright will
credit.
definitely help out with that. Yeah.
Give the Bears credit, man. They said they wanted Fields to prove it last year before they built around him. They stuck to their word. They saw the potential in Fields last year, and they have gone completely balls to the wall this offseason to try to find help for Justin Fields. They're sticking to their words. That's all you can ask for as a franchise quarterback. Titans, is Will Levis a lock to go there? What do you think, guys?
No, I think Hendon Hooker is more likely. I think Hendon Hooker is a good.
It would be Hendon before Will Levis for them, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they took Levis, but I think Hooker, because they have a quarterback in place who's probably not going to push Tannehill right off the bat like Levis might.
Yeah,
I could be wrong. I mean, Hooker I think is a better pure passer than Levis already. Levis has the advantage in athleticism, I think, but
I think the biggest thing with that is Hooker is a leader. Like Hooker can step into a huddle with a bunch of grown men and be like, okay, it's time for us to play. Like, we need to go do this. Like, I think there is some immaturity with Levis. I don't know if he's necessarily the leader. He may have like a bigger arm. He may be a little bit faster or something like that than Hooker. But I think from a mental standpoint and just being a leader and a high character person, I think Hooker outshines him in that. And I think that's something. Vrabel's a tough, no nonsense type of guy. Like, if you don't know what you're doing and you're not prepared, he's not going to like you. I think he's going to like Hooker for that reason.
Exactly what I was going to say. Mike Vrabel. That's why Hooker makes sense there. Their pick is in already. They only used half of their clock for this. So that tells me it's probably not Levis. I don't know, man. This feels really early for Hooker, and they didn't trade back. So I'm thinking this is probably a Christian Gonzalez pick here or something like that. That's my guess.
They need a bunch of offensive line, though. They had to retool the offensive line. They got rid of some guys. They released like Taylor Lewan, who'd been there a long time. Like it could be Broderick Jones.
Jones, makes sense here.
Skronsky, could make sense too.
All of those guys, because they they still have Derrick Henry. So I would have thought, if it wasn't a quarterback, if Bijan didn't get picked earlier, that he could be one there.
This is actually not setting up that great for us. I'm looking at the next teams coming up. It's going to be a bunch of corners going off the board here, and the rest of the offensive linemen.
Yeah, corners and O-line, probably the next couple of picks. I think you're right.
All we got is Green Bay, New England, Jets. Jets aren't taking a corner. New England.
Green Bay's probably going. I'm going to go. Green Bay's going to take a tight end. They're going to take Dalton Kincaid or Michael Meyer, I think.
Yeah,
just a hunch. Or in Smith and Jigba is another option there.
And New England's great at taking guys in the middle rounds and turning them into star cornerbacks. I mean, they do that every year. They take guys late or mid round, and then they become top corners with like 8 interceptions. So.
Yeah.
I think we may be okay with getting a cornerback, but how hilarious would that be that the whole time Rodgers is in Green Bay, they don't draft any kind of offensive weapons in the first round, and the very first year that they get them gone, they draft like a wide receiver or a tight end in the first round.
Yeah, well, you don't have Aaron Rodgers to make up for a lack of receiving talent, so you need guys that can help out your quarterback now. So Smith and Jigma makes a lot of sense here.
Yeah.
For Green Bay, but we'll see, because they seem very opposed to that. Dalton Kincaid's another one I think makes a lot of sense for Green Bay.
Right.
And honestly, Levis to the Patriots makes sense to me too. I can see Levis going to New England. It is crazy, but it would not surprise me. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I feel good about Hooker to the Titans.
Oh man, they're
right up until they don't draft him in like 30 seconds. But
yeah,
I'm going to stick with that.
They just showed the Titans draft room, and they were all like high fiving each other. Super excited. So I mean, it could be an offensive lineman, but it could be a quarterback with that type of excitement.
Yeah, shout out to Command This Podcast. I was just kicking it with them on their live stream. It's Steve. You got Phil, Dev, the whole crew over there, man. Shout out to those guys. Check out all their stuff, man. Great show, great content. Dale's in the room. What's up, Dale? He wants to trade back and get extra picks. Well, at this point, I think all the players we want are going to be gone, so we may not have a choice.
Dale, what's up, man? What's going on?
Some 2024 picks, Dale.
Dale's got the right idea. I'm a fan favorite of Anton Harrison. I think he is day one left tackle starter, best pass protector of the group.
Oh, they just showed the split screen of Hendon Hooker. Maybe they're just teasing.
They select him? Did they select him?
No. That was just I'm watching the TV feed on my phone too. I got the TV going behind me. I think that's probably just them teasing. There you go.
Let's see.
There we go. There we go. Man, all the wide receivers are still on the board. That's crazy.
I don't love this wide receiver class, honestly.
Yeah, like they said that this was like, maybe Jackson Smith and Jigba, but outside of that, everybody was like second, third round at the highest.
Yeah, what we got here.
I must be on a delay here on my TV because
come on, Roger, hurry up and watch NFL Network. That's what I'm watching.
I'm going to Twitter for this one because it's taking too long.
The Bleacher Report app was doing pretty good. They were firing them off, but now it's all slowed down. We need to get Christian Gonzalez.
Peter Skoronski, just like we said. Peter Skoronski.
Yeah. Skoronski. Oh, there goes the lineman.
No, is that the selection?
Yeah, that's the pick. Yeah, Skoronski's the pick. Yep.
Oh, nice. Perfect. Come on. Yeah. I mean, if we get Gonzalez, that's awesome.
This is the spot. Detroit here. This is the one I worry about. Detroit at 12.
Going to Detroit. You can put. I talked to my family back home in Detroit. They told me earlier Gonzalez is the pick if he's there.
Yeah, because they were all in on Witherspoon. But
didn't they trade? They traded Jeff Okudah just a couple of weeks ago. So they need a corner.
Yeah. So this could be where Christian Gonzalez goes. I hope not. I want him to fall to 16.
I hope they take Porter because he's a little bit more physical press man, and I think that may be.
It is true.
I'm going to hope that that's more Dan Campbell's style than Aaron Glenn's style.
But I think if Gonzalez falls past here, I think he's there at 16. I don't think the Patriots or the Packers are going to take him.
No. The Packers or the Jets are definitely going to take like a lineman.
Yeah, the Jets are not going to take him.
They need to keep Aaron Rodgers upright. Well, that's a good pick for the Titans, though. Skoronski's awesome.
Well, he's going to play on the interior, right?
Yeah, he'll be a day
guard.
Yeah, he'll be a day one starter. Won't miss a beat.
Yeah, that's a great pick for them. I mean, he's a great pick for anybody. He's got that like Zach Martin kind of feel to him, where he's just going to come in. The college tackle that was pretty good. Brandon Sheriff the same way. Pretty good tackle or a great guard. So you move in the guard and let him just dominate. So what it's looking like anyway. We'll see what happens. Obviously, as the things progress. But yeah, great. I think it's a great pick for them, and it wasn't Christian Gonzalez.
This year's draft is running about 8 minutes behind. I just checked again. Last year's draft. Last year we picked 16 overall at 9:54. So we're trending to a 10 p.m. or later pick. Let's see. Steve Lim.
Perfect.
I got me a bedtime, man.
Hey, we got good news today. Before the draft started, Roger Goodell was asked a media session or whatever before the draft, and he said the paperwork's being reviewed, and that by the next owners meeting, which is next month, there will be an announcement on the sale of the team. So everything is going the way we all want it to go. And next month, it's going to get announced. So, I mean, I don't know what better news you could want than that. So we're inching closer to the goal line with that one.
Jahmyr Gibbs. All right. Wow, they went running back.
Oh,
Wow, Detroit went running back. Jahmyr Gibbs from
dude.
Alabama.
Yes,
That is that's a
Gonzalez is
surprise.
coming home.
What a draft, man. That's crazy.
Wow.
2 running backs in the top, 13 picks?
Wow.
That's wild, man. Good for them. Good for him.
Yes.
He's a beast. I like him a lot. I was thinking he was going to be a second round pick.
I would have thought he would be like end of the first round, like 28, 31 or something like that. Somewhere around
Alvin Kamara. So
yeah, no, he's really good. But that's great. That means Gonzalez is coming
I think
home.
Gonzalez is going to be hanging around at 16. I'll be surprised if he I'll be surprised if Gonzalez isn't around at 16. So I hope that's our pick. So he probably will be sitting there, and Ron will bypass him and take a defensive tackle.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was like, who's the next defensive tackle behind Jalen?
Lucas Van Ness. That'll be the guy. He'll be the edge rusher.
So I don't know about you guys. I am worried about that with Chase's option being declined. Ron and his edge rush complaining and stuff like that. I really hope this is not like a curveball and we see like Miles Murphy or Lucas Van Ness. Now,
Nolan Smith.
Or Nolan Smith. Yeah. I would like those in general, but I'm like not over some other positions.
Steve, I'm going to shoot you a link. Come hop in here with us, man. Kick it with us for a few minutes.
Oh my gosh, we're going to 4-man show. What are we going to do? Oh, wait, are y'all kicking me out? This is my swan song.
No.
Steve's replacing me.
It's the accounting. Last in, last out. So that would be me. I'd have to go.
No, because then I'd have to get back on Twitter. I'd rather be off the podcast than be on Twitter. No, that is crazy. Jahmyr Gibbs. Good for him. I can't wait to see. Yeah, Detroit's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah.
This is the best draft. Their offense is going to be bananas, though.
And they pick again at 18. I can see Hooker's another option for them at 18 as well, or Levis. Either of them coming up a little bit later in the first round, because a guy that can sit behind Jared Goff. It's another like ideal situation. Detroit was always my dark horse to land Anthony Richardson for that exact reason. But obviously they didn't even get a chance to get there. But yeah, that's
Seattle's
that's a
got another pick too.
Yeah, Seattle's got another one coming up. They could go quarterback.
I wonder if like Minnesota does it, because Kirk is on his last year, I think, of his deal. I could see Minnesota doing Will Levis and picking him up.
If Hooker gets to Minnesota, that's where he's going, I think, for sure.
Yeah.
Dale says, will the Commanders grab a tight end at 16? I can see it, man.
I don't. I don't see it. I wouldn't hate it, I guess, but I don't see them taking a tight end at 16. Kincaid or Mayer. Yeah. Because I don't think those guys are
they're not
changers first year. I think Ron is really looking for somebody who's going to make an impact this year, because again, he's got to win.
Yeah.
And I think Ali said it earlier in the offseason, where tight ends generally take a year or two to really come into their own. So I don't know that that's a pick that's now Sam Laporta, if he's there in like round 2 or round 3, I'm all in on him, because he's my favorite tight end in the draft anyway. But 16, that for me, a little bit of a reach, because I don't see it. I think offensive line or corner still has got to be the pick at 16.
If you want to impact tight end first round, it would be next year, and that would be Brock Bowers from Georgia. Like, he's like Jeremy Shockey. Like, he has that explosiveness, physicality, insane like catches. Like, he would be the day one first round top 10. Like, he's that type of tight end. So if it was next year, I would say get that guy. But this group, I would say Eric's right. Wait till second round, third round if you can get Laporta, or what's the Old Dominion guy's name, Eric?
Zach Kuntz. Yeah, he's probably a round 3, round 4 guy. He's definitely late day 2, I think. So I will say I think he's definitely gone by round 4. He could sneak into a late day 2 pick, because he's just like a freakish athlete. It's probably a little bit raw, but again, he's not an instant impact player, to me anyway. So it would be a stretch to take. Well, I mean, I guess late day 2, day 3. I would, if he's there in the 4th round, I would definitely grab him. I don't know that I'd reach for him because I think you can get a better player in round 3.
Take his in for Green Bay.
Man,
I don't
they got
know.
Smith and Jigma.
I think so too. Or Christian Gonzalez, one of the two.
Not sure. It's Kincaid. This is a spot for Dalton Kincaid.
Yeah,
I think
because they want to prove everyone right that they got, they selected Jordan Love. So they're going to give him some weapons, right?
You would think so.
Or wherever the best lineman is out there, or something like that. But man, they got Gonzalez and Jair Alexander together. That's a lethal combination in the secondary.
Terry would eat. That's a it's a rebuilding year for them, so I can see them taking a developmental player too. Honestly. Oh, no, they traded. Oh no, sorry, they're talking about the Aaron Rodgers trade.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah. With who? With us? Did we trade up?
No, Aaron Rodgers. So yeah, they're on the clock here.
Oh,
hopefully
they're all clapping. It was a soft, gentle clap. So I think that
golf clap. That's offensive line.
That's offensive line.
That's wide receiver. That's what that is.
They're like, oh, we had to do it.
That's fine too, as long as it's not Gonzalez.
Yeah, I'm still going. I'm going to go Dalton Kincaid here. That's who I'm betting on.
Let me ask you guys this. Maybe it's just me. Does Christian Gonzalez not look like St. Juice? They're both tall, light-skinned guys. They look like they look similar.
Lucas Van Ness.
That's another shocker.
What?
Edge rusher.
Wow.
Getting Joe Barry another weapon to waste.
I like him. He's a good pick, but they stay not taking offensive weapons in the first round ever.
Over Nolan Smith? Okay.
Yeah, Van Ness, probably a little more technical, I think. Van Ness, I don't know. I get Ryan Kerrigan vibes off Van Ness, so I think he's going to be a solid but not great player for a long time.
Yeah.
It's the vibe I get anyway. I don't know. Nolan Smith. It's tough because it's just like his size. Like he's
smaller. Yeah.
He's like Hassan Reddick, I think is his NFL comp, like a 6'1", 230, not quite a linebacker, but not quite an edge rusher. So that could be affecting him. I mean, Van Ness is very purely can probably play defensive end or outside linebacker in a 3-4. Mm-hmm. He's got that classic build, whereas Nolan Smith is a little bit more of a tweener.
Situational pass rusher.
Yeah, he's going to take is Preston Smith still with the Green Bay Packers? He'll probably take his spot.
I think he was last year. I don't know if he was a free agent.
So he's probably taking that role there. So that's perfect. So what do we got? We got New England, who could be maybe Levis or like New England's just so hard to kind of.
Yeah, New England could go wide receiver here.
Because they're not going Levis.
They could go tight end. They could go. Yeah, Levis wouldn't surprise. I don't think they go Levis either, but it wouldn't surprise me. Tight end, wide receiver, offensive line. They need kind of a lot of help.
Yeah,
but they like big wide receivers, or at least they've been visiting with big wide receivers.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And Jigba's how tall? He's
6'1", 6'2".
Is he? I think what's the other guy?
He's a decent sized guy. I don't know. I gotta look. I have to look it up again. I don't remember.
I think that Zay guy would make a lot of sense.
Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
Isn't he small though?
Oh, he's like 5'9", 5'8".
Yeah, he's the little guy from Boston College, right?
Yeah, I got my guys mixed up then. Whoever that bigger wide receiver
Jordan
is.
Addison. Are you thinking Jordan Addison? Is he big?
Yeah. About that.
From USC? Yeah.
Making
that up too because I can't remember any. I haven't looked at wide receivers hardly at all this year, other than Smith and Jigba.
Back to trade. So New England looks like just traded with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Joey Porter.
Nope, they're coming for Nolan Smith, guaranteed.
Well, I think it's probably Smith or corner because they like everything has always said for them is like corner, and I hope it's not Gonzalez that they jumped us for.
Joey Porter. It's Joey Porter.
That would be great. That would be great. But they could have just waited for him.
Maybe.
So
Right.
New England's now behind us now with
Bro,
their
what did they get Will Levis?
Poor Kenny Pickett with his tiny baby hands.
No, I think it's got to be Nolan Smith because that's the only position group that's running out of starters, right? Or like real impact players is edge rushers. So why would they jump up to when there's like 3 or 4 corners still on the board?
Maybe they think Washington wants Joey Porter.
But
yeah.
there's like
I think it's known that we either want a lineman or a corner. So, and if they want the same
Broderick
corner,
Jones. Yeah, it could be Broderick. Do they need an offensive lineman? I don't even know.
yeah, I think for them they probably need corner and they probably need O-line.
So they're basically us.
Broderick Jones is probably the right call there. That's a good call out. I think either him or Nolan Smith, I think, is it.
We shall see.
But
Joey
the thing,
Porter, the family bloodline is strong, though.
Yeah, with like New England, though, back to those guys, is that their like whole like who they like is so completely different than every other NFL team. Like every year, if they pick somebody, it's like you've never heard of them. No one's ever heard of the guy, and they'll pick him in the first round. Pick is in for Steelers.
But it's great to be different, but you got to be effectively different. Have they been effectively different without Tom Brady?
No, Tom Brady was the great equalizer.
Yeah.
You could get away with taking like guys people nobody had ever heard of.
Yeah.
Oh, like Broderick Jones. Broderick jumped the Jets to get Broderick Jones. Yes, sir.
Oh,
great
Eric,
pick
they knew that was Eric's guy, so they had to jump us and take him.
Okay.
So that's got to be it.
At this point,
well, he's going to fail now because he's in Pittsburgh.
I can guarantee you almost that the Commanders are trading back at this point. Because
with Gonzalez on the board, though?
Yes. Teams are coming up to get their guy. Somebody's going to trade up to 16 to get somebody. Commanders are going to trade back.
If nobody's traded
for Levis, I'm fine with it.
Get Gonzalez. Get Gonzalez. Like he's a blue chip guy. Like get him. Don't give him up.
He's such a good fit for what they do on defense. That's the thing. But the way he's dropping, I mean, is he going to be there if they go back to 20?
Yeah, there's no
somebody
way.
Will. There's enough corners still on the board.
But again, if you move back into the 20s and grab like Emmanuel Forbes or Banks, I'm fine with that too. Like I said, I like Joey Porter Jr. a lot. I just don't think he's the best pick for the Commanders. But
did you call up, I was listening to you guys earlier. WJ3 is a perfect comp for Joey Porter. I think you guys are saying that, right?
It's the man.
I mean, just the way that he's used, he's similar build, similar play style. That's like what he does best, and it's just not what Jack Del Rio and Ron Rivera want to do on defense. So, nothing against Joey Porter. I think he's going to be fantastic in the right situation. I just don't think that Washington's the right situation for him. But if they take him, I'm a cheer for him.
Yeah, Broderick
got to go. Steelers did it, man. They're smart. That's a good pick.
Yeah, but I think as players, just guys jumping up, to take Van Ness and like guys like that going, and kid from Alabama, the running back going. I mean, that just does wonders. And a trade back is not as bad an idea here for Washington as it could be. It would be hard if Gonzalez is sitting there to trade back for me.
Yeah,
I would, I might have to, hold my nose and deal with it. But, if you can get 2 good players out of this, I'm all right with that too. 2 guys that are like NFL ready and ready to play. I just think Gonzalez is such a good fit for this defense that it would be a shame to pass him up. And then, maybe they trade back and he's still there whenever they're up. So who knows?
You got to think about it too. Like with this, I mean, we've got Dak, Daniel Jones, Jalen Hurts. Like they all have good receivers. Giants are probably going to get receiver in this draft. They got Darren Waller. Like you need at least 2 to 3 good corners. And I mean, we have 2, but the problem is it's really only 1.5 because St. Juice will only play about 8-9 games a year, maybe 10 games, and then he'll miss them. So we've got to have somebody legitimate on the other side because, hey, Kendall has been healthy and has been pretty solid, but who's to say this isn't the year that he has a bunch of injuries? Then what? And it's Danny Johnson, who has played well, but that's who you're looking at. And then I know there's that guy that we signed from Minnesota or something like that, maybe, who was released by Minnesota. I forget his name now. Danzler, right?
Cameron Danzler? That sounds right.
So. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say Woody Danzler, that quarterback from I think it was Clemson or Georgia.
Tiny Danzler, the Elton John song. Private Danzler. Tina Turner. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
It's a private dancer, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, man, this is a crazy draft, man. I can't even tell you what the Jets are gonna do here. They need interior offensive line help, tackle, tight end, linebacker. All those positions,
Or could they be?
Who's their wide receiver opposite Garrett Wilson? Who do they have? Because I can see. Wouldn't that be a nice thing to do? Is to
get the other
and give him another weapon? Yeah.
Then they have the 2 Ohio State receivers. Yeah, that'd be good for them.
I don't know enough about the Jets to tell you whether that'd be a good pick for them or not, but it'd be good for Aaron Rodgers to get more weapons. Or again, tight end. This is another spot Dalton Kincaid could go.
Well, they're taking a long time with this pick. So.
Yeah.
No, they're probably trying to work the phones. They're probably trying to trade back too.
Yep.
Because their defense is loaded, right?
Yeah, the defense.
They're like money on defense. It's just, the offense quarterback was the main issue. But
maybe they can put a couple of pounds on Zach Wilson and make him a tight end or something.
No, because he's like 5'11". He's like a little bit. Isn't he like a little guy too? He's not that small. He's like 6'1", 6'2". Oh, okay, I don't know. For no reason, he just looks like a little baby, a little tiny child. So who knows?
Yeah, they're just begging somebody to come up and take this pick off their hands, man.
I was just wondering, I can see like a weapon, like an offensive weapon or a lineman for them. They need help on their offense. I think Dalton Kincaid would be an awesome pick here, or Smith and Jigba. Well, those are the two guys that I like for the Jets here, not knowing almost anything about the Jets.
It's funny. I think Warren Sharp of Sharp Football Analysis had his final mock draft this morning, and he had us taking Gonzalez, and I was like, no way, because every kind of mock I had seen, Gonzalez was like going top 10. Maybe once or twice he went like 11 or 12, but never down to 16. And he had it at he had us taking Gonzalez at 16. So that's crazy that we still got a shot for him if they don't pick him here.
Wow. But
they get there and him and Harris are on the board and they go some other position, I'm gonna be pissed. Not even gonna lie. I might lose my mind. Yeah.
We don't know why he's flagging. Could be medical, could be something,
What if he goes Miles Murphy, defensive end, Clemson, edge rusher?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, but nothing would surprise me with this team. They could go long snapper, and I'd be like, yeah,
it's true.
That tracks.
Jets are going to use every second of this clock, man.
Yeah,
as they should. They're working it.
We do not want to pick here, please.
They're probably trying to unload Zach Wilson with whatever. They're probably going to give you we'll give you this pick and Zach Wilson.
They're like, no, we're gonna need more than that. We're gonna need more.
What do you think about Aaron Rodgers with them?
I mean, he makes them better. I mean, their quarterback really held them back last year. The defense is solid. There are weapons. I mean, they got Breece Hall. They've got what's his name? The running back from North Carolina. They have obviously Garrett Wilson. So they've got talent. Yeah, Lazard. Oh, they brought in Lazard this year. That's right.
Yeah, they brought in Lazard, and then the other tight end is just some guy, Tyler Conklin. They just showed it on the screen.
Yeah, I can see Dalton Kincaid here. I can. I think I'm leaning toward that.
A minute and a half, and the pick is still not in yet.
Yeah, I think Dalton Kincaid. That's my pick here. I've been pretty much money so far, as in 0 for 13. So I think I'm due. Dalton Kincaid. That's who I'm rolling with here.
Yeah, they're still trying.
They're slapping hands here on NFL Network. They're hugging each other.
I think we're trading back. Yeah. There's too many good prospects still on the board for us to sit there at 16.
All right, Jets, what are you doing there?
Yeah. I think they're about to be under a minute. They got to get this pick in.
There it is. Pick is in.
Is it?
Pick is in. I'm just trying to
go to Twitter.
Let's just see. Go to Twitter. I think Dalton Kincaid. That's my that's who I'm going with.
Oh, now it finally updated on here. Pick is in. Okay. Anybody else?
Nothing yet.
Bunch of Jets fans.
Still no leaks. What in the world? This is 2023. Will McDonald from Iowa State is the pick for the Jets, evidently.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. He was we were watching him at the Senior Bowl. Like they were saying at that point in time, maybe third, fourth rounder for him. And then after the Senior Bowl, he had kind of rose up the charts a little bit. But 15, I didn't realize he would go that high.
Dude, I don't understand that though. Like, dude, the tape should tell you. Like the Senior Bowl, in my opinion, shouldn't change your mind about a player. The tape that you saw on him all off season had you at a third or fourth round grade. That's what he is to me. I can't,
and he's like, I mean, he's definitely like a outside speed rusher type guy because he's like real thin. Yeah. He's tall and thin. He's not like a Will Anderson.
Randy Gregory.
Yes, that's kind of a good.
That's again good for us.
The Jets fans are not happy with this overdraft of McDonald.
Yeah, Will McDonald.
I just don't understand. Like, if you're there, because they're paying like $100 million, they gave up all these picks for Rodgers. Like, get him a lineman or get him a weapon. Like,
well, they wanted to make him feel at home, so they didn't help him out in the first round of the draft.
Yeah, I was gonna say they
wanted to make him just like Green Bay. Don't worry, you're gonna love it here.
Yeah, exactly.
That is nuts.
Oh. Did they
not even like each other?
I know, right? Roger Goodell just took the stage. No, Roger Goodell just walked up on the stage with some little kid.
Oh,
the little kid's gonna be pissed in a second when they say Will McDonald.
Look at this: the best available players by ESPN: Christian Gonzalez, Will Levis, Dalton Kincaid, Nolan Smith, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Michael Mayer, Emmanuel Forbes, Zay Flowers, Joey Porter Jr. None of those.
It's crazy that how Forbes has really shot up in the last couple of weeks too.
Oh yeah,
Forbes was projected as like a second rounder, like as late as like the Senior Bowl times. They were talking about second round, and all of a sudden he's like,
tiny dude.
Yeah,
he reminds me of the kid that we all liked out of JMU a few years ago. What was that kid's name that made our roster? Jimmy Neutron. Jimmy.
Moreland. You're talking about Jimmy Moreland. No, he's okay. I'm not going to argue with you on that. I think he's better than Moreland. He's just a nice out. I mean, he's small. I'll give you that, but I don't have a problem with, I watch him cover. He can play. And he's playing ACC or Big Ten ball, so it's not like Jimmy Moreland playing at JMU. They're going to have, they got a little kid to announce this, so the Jets fans are going to boo this little kid.
Yep.
That's cold. Roger Goodell. That's they did this little kid dirty.
They'll be all pissed when it's Will McDonald.
Will McDonald.
Here we go. Everybody listen, our pick is coming up if we don't trade it.
Christian Gonzalez. Let's go.
I can't. I'm going to have to.
He's the top corner. Like, it was either him or Witherspoon.
He made it to 16 for a reason, though.
Yeah, but who else picked corners, though?
So you're such a negative. Like, you're just like.
Yeah. Like, you have to walk.
That's not a negative. That's the reality. Did he not make it to 16?
He didn't make it to 16.
Make it to 16? Come on now.
No, but that.
He made it to 16 because teams are trading up for running backs.
Yeah,
I mean, it's there are teams that are just doing dumb stuff. So
okay. Everybody else in the NFL is stupid. Okay. Best player available. That's how the draft goes. He's still here at 16. That just tells me something.
Same running back that we had that carried a team.
We haven't even drafted him yet, and Ellie already hates him.
Yeah.
He's available at 16. I mean, basically, you can say that about literally any pick that we make.
Yeah.
He's at
No,
16.
yeah, but no.
I mean,
Not all of them were the number one player at their position.
well, he wasn't the consensus
was.
number one.
Yeah, like he was like on
Him and
most of
Wilbur?
the boards, he's number one.
He's a good, like he was a top tier.
Emmanuel Forbes to the Commanders.
Who?
Emmanuel Forbes.
They took Emmanuel.
Wow.
I mean, I would have taken Gonzalez over Forbes, but I mean,
Wow.
I've been banging on Forbes's drum. I've been banging the Forbes drum all off season. I'm okay with Emmanuel Forbes.
Emmanuel Forbes.
I think I like Gonzalez better.
Jeez.
Wow. I know you hate him.
Well, you got your wish, Ellie. See, this is what happened. You got your wish. We
didn't take Gonzalez because he fell to 16, so he must be trash.
166-pound corner. That's what we did. 166 pound.
Y'all gonna make me defend him? I like Emmanuel. I've liked him all. I really like him in round 2.
In a division that has Tony Pollard, Saquon Barkley,
AJ Brown,
the running game of the Eagles, we got 166-pound corner.
I love it. I'm just gonna be happy about it. We got the Bryce Young of cornerbacks.
So the thing is, you definitely could have traded back, I think, and gotten Emmanuel Forbes.
Yeah.
If
that's
I don't
the guy that you could have traded that back. Wow.
I love the player. I really like Emmanuel Forbes, and I'm not gonna back down from that. I really like him, and I think he's going to be a very good player for this team. I just think you probably could have done better with what's on the board right now. You could have gotten a better player. But that said, I am also, as I have been all off season, completely out on 2023. So it's really fine. They didn't take Hendon Hooker.
Hey, look, the team's getting sold next month. So that's all we need to do.
Who was the cornerback that went earlier in the draft?
Devin Witherspoon.
Yeah. He had a Marcus Peters comp. I'm trying to find Emmanuel Forbes comparison.
Samari Roll.
Yeah, Samari Roll. That's a really good one for
yeah. He's Forbes. About the only anybody else who weighed the same as him.
I don't remember Samari Roll.
He played for
he was good. He was a Pro Bowler. Tennessee Titans, played in the Super Bowl, I think.
Yeah.
That I just don't remember how he played.
He's a good player.
But he was like a thin guy though, just like Forbes.
Well,
somebody's texting me. They don't know. I'm gonna have to break the news.
That would be great if it was like wrong and it was somebody else, but it's Emmanuel Forbes. All right.
Well, let's see. We'll do an Emmanuel Forbes Declassified episode coming up soon. The number 6 overall corner, and he came off as a second cornerback off the board.
See?
This is hard because I'm in a weird position now because I've literally been banging on the Emmanuel Ford drums this is all off season, but now they took in
Ellie, you still want Ron for another 4 years?
No, Ron's gone after this year. This was a
166-pound corner in the NFC.
Well,
we got
he's going to have 17 interceptions this year. I mean, he's such a great fit for this defense. I love him as a player, and I'm not mad that they have him. It's just that, man, you could have moved back. There's just better players on the board right now than Emmanuel Forbes for me. And he could be a perennial All-Pro for all I know, but I'm just a little I'm at a loss. I don't want to badmouth the guy that I've loved all off season, but at the same time, it's really hard because that's just not what I would have done here.
Like if they would have taken Gonzalez, just stayed put and taken Gonzalez, I've been like, perfect. Like that makes sense. He is one of the top players.
There has to be a reason. It has to be a reason that Gonzalez is falling. It's not as simple. Like he is the number 1 cornerback coming in the draft. There has to be something going on that we're not aware of. And we're not.
I saw him kicking a puppy on the way into the green room.
That's exactly what it is because. Yeah. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. And then to go all the way to Emmanuel Forbes, like if that was the case and you wanted Forbes, fine, trade back then. Then I could understand getting Forbes in that situation. But to do it at 16 when you have better guys up there, that's wild.
I don't know enough about Forbes to hate him or love him. I've never seen this kid play, period. I think, look, we needed a cornerback, and I'm glad they got one because our secondary last year, a little leaky at times, right? And with Fuller getting older, you got to do something. And BSJ, like you said before, you appropriately pointed out, he's not there for you every week. I don't hate it. The size is a concern.
Another
100.
comp that I just thought of that's even more
What's that?
appropriate.
What's
Fred
that?
Smoot.
Oh well, that's Fred Smoot's guy. Like if you watch any of the
Fred Smoot,
the
a little fat. He's faster than Smoot, but
that's all he talks
who
about is Emmanuel
yeah.
Forbes. All he
he's
talks
just
about. That.
he's got a nasty. I think he's a Mississippi State guy, probably why. But
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're both Bulldogs. Yep.
yeah, but he's got that tenacity. Like he's a small corner. He's a really fast. He's a really good athlete. He's got that dog in him. His size is going to be a concern, but I think he's a great fit for this team. Just struggling because I really there's just other players on the board that I like better.
I wonder how he's going to do against AJ Brown. You wonder how he's going to do against CeeDee Lamb. Guys like that. But truth be told, man, if he's a baller, I hope he balls out for us. We needed it. Now let's see what we do in the rest of the draft. But again, another year, we don't go O-lineman in the first round. Offensive tackle in the first round. They don't see it as a need as big as we do, or as much as we do. That's clear to me. He was, oh my gosh. I'm looking at the rankings for Forbes.
Exactly. And you're hating on Gonzalez. Like that's what I'm saying. Like this team, like Ron doesn't look at these things like with a clarity. Like he's oh my
God. I think it's going to be a good move. I'm fully supporting this move. Until I see otherwise. Yes, we needed O-line. I told you guys coming in. I don't think they thought it was big of a need as we did. It happens. Forbes is going to be a ball.
There's going to be offensive linemen later in the draft as well. Yeah,
right.
I'm glad you're coming around because I do like Forbes is going to be a good player in this defense. I do believe that. I do believe he's not a big guy, but I do believe he's going to play well in this defense. I don't hate him. I hate him at this pick personally. Maybe there just wasn't anything there. Like they just could get a good deal. They weren't getting a good enough offer to move back.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
I think he could have been there in the mid-20s. But if he's the number one guy on your board left, then that's what you do.
The Patriots are going Christian Gonzalez, right?
I bet you they will. And everybody will be like,
yes, they did.
That's the smartest thing. See, and now everyone's going to say that's the smartest thing. But if we did it, it's not like
look at the comments. I have no idea how Christian Gonzalez fell to the Patriots in 17, but that's a slam dunk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we got my man who needs to eat a sandwich or something in Emmanuel Forbes.
Brian,
already hating. Man.
My guy Brian, I know. I think. Look, I didn't watch much of Christian Gonzalez either. I hate to see you going through it. I think it's.
I think I would have much rather taken Gonzalez at 16.
Oh,
I think that goes without saying. I don't know.
Who in the organization made this pick in you guys' opinion? Like Jack Del Rio come in there and storm in there and say, "Hey, we need to get a corner over any other position." Or what do you guys think?
I think they just had a dartboard set up. We're just like Emmanuel Forbes. There it is. That seems more apropos.
I can see Fred Smoot lobbying, hey, there's this guy down in Mississippi State. I could see him talking to Ron every day about that this guy.
It is kind of funny. How did we get to this point? I'm trying to think, I wonder what they did. You know what it was? Did they meet with Forbes as a pre-draft meeting? Do you know?
I don't even think they. I don't remember hearing about it.
They met with a bunch of defensive backs, so I think he was probably on the list. Yeah,
I bet I'm looking for a military connection.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's probably it. He probably saw a military movie once, and
Forbes was like an all-world baseball player. I remember that, and he was going to have Tommy John surgery, so he just changed sports. But he's a crazy good athlete. He has a ton of speed.
Yeah, he ran a 4.35. He is fast.
Yeah,
He does have speed.
He's yeah. We are going. It's going to take. We're going to have a lot. Some of us, Brian, are going to have to come around.
Yeah,
But
I'll be there.
he is going to be.
By
He
next
is going to
time, I'll
be
be
a
there.
good player. He is going to be good in this defense. I can assure you of that. He is going to be. I can't assure you of anything. I've been wrong all night, but I have a feeling his play style fits what this defense does really well.
Here's the comp for Christian Gonzalez: Marshawn Lattimore.
Ooh.
Okay.
And he went to a place where they turn out all pro corners in New England. Like New England makes stud cornerbacks, like guys who get like 8 interceptions and then want a huge contract. So he's gonna be good there.
Yeah, I mean, and that's not even. We haven't even brought up Deontay Banks, who I also probably would have put ahead of Emmanuel Forbes.
Yeah. Did you guys see
also
what
still
Dale
out there
said?
on the board?
What's that?
Yeah. Hey, Dale. Dale, we've been talking about this the whole time.
Yeah,
Joey Porter's not the pick.
Those guys are the same.
He's not the pick. Dale, he's not the pick, man. He's just not. Joey Porter's going to be a good player. He's not the pick for this defense. Yeah, this is good. This is very reminiscent of we were on live last year when we took Phil Mathis. Is the same kind of reaction of like, what are we doing?
We were
here?
correct about that, by the way.
Well, we don't. He blew his knee out. We don't know what he's going to be, but
doesn't matter.
I don't know, man. This is tough. This is tough. Yeah, this is not.
Eric,
yeah,
Eric.
What?
Out of 10, what are you giving this pick so far?
I give it a B- out of 10.
A what?
A B- out of 10. No, it's like a 6 out of 10. I just, as much as I like Forbes, you could have done better here, and you could have gotten Forbes if you really wanted him. You definitely could have moved back at some point. It's a tough pill to take.
You know why I like the pick so much? Because on every podcast last season and in this offseason, we've talked about how there's no playmakers in the secondary. Derek Forrest came around, but we were not creating turnovers in the secondary, and Emmanuel
Forbes will do that.
Instantly helps that out.
Yeah.
Now, what I don't know, because I don't know enough about him, but I will by the time we do the Forbes Declassified, is he a gambler, right? Does he make plays because he gambles like some cornerbacks do in the NFL, which leaves opportunity for exposure? But I tell you what, man, he's going to create turnovers in our secondary. You see what Trayvon Diggs did for Dallas, right? Being able to turn the football over. He might be that same kind of guy with when it comes to turnovers. So hopefully, not size, not playing style. I'm just talking, purely turnovers. We need that. We need that in our secondary, like in our defense, period. So that's one of the big missing links. So I'm cool with it, man. WQ15 says, for what it's worth, God, I can't talk. For what it's worth, CBS Sports gave the pick an A rating. Let's go.
All right. CBS Sports. They know more than we do, I guess.
Brian, out of 10, where are you going with this one?
Yeah, I don't have anything nice to say. So
I'm telling you, you're going to like him. You're going to like him. He's going to be good. He's going to have 19 interceptions.
Yeah, I'm going to do that because I think that was his calling card, right? Like that was the thing that he was most kind of celebrated for, was the ball hawking ability, being able to take the ball away consistently. And listening to like Logan Paulson like break him down and stuff like that, a lot of those were like tip passes and things that kind of just bounce to him. So is that, can that be replicated? So I hope so for his sake.
I mean, passes get tipped in the NFL all the
the True.
Okay. I got a
but
comp
not for us. Nobody on our team.
Here we go. Ellie's got a comp for him.
It's my own comp. It's my own
Trashy
comp.
McTrash bag. That's his comp.
No.
He's gonna say it's like Daryl Green. Who is it?
No. Hang on. Let me check the size comparison because it might be way off. 1 second. I like this comp though. Now that I think about it, D'Angelo Hall.
No.
D'Angelo Hall. Turnovers.
No.
Turnovers. Yeah. D'Angelo Hall was way bigger.
Yeah. He was shorter. He was bigger.
And he was more man corner, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I'm going to go. Oh, the Lions got the pick.
Wow. Jack Campbell.
Who?
See, they're still see, everybody's like
Luke Kuechly, linebacker.
Yeah, Jack Campbell.
Campbell.
I thought he was
Wow.
a second rounder too.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
really high.
He's related to Dan. That's why.
Yeah, that's probably it. It's his like
He's
third
Dan's
nephew.
third cousin. Yeah.
Wow. So you got two guys who probably went a whole round higher than where they should have.
Man. So this Forbes pick kind of feels like maybe they had somebody else on their board that went a little earlier.
No way. How? Who? I mean, look at all the trash. I mean, not trash, but look at all the overdrafts that came in. There were guys sliding down the board like crazy. I don't know who would be.
And if they did, why didn't they just trade back?
I know.
I mean, the trade back thing. That's the thing that kills me. Like, I would be really happy with Forbes if it wasn't at 16.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Dale, what are you grading the pick, Dale? He says he's extremely quick, knocks a lot of passes down. Just pray Saquon doesn't break into the secondary. Tell us what you grade this out of 10. This kind of reminds me of last year, where it's like the Olave and Jahan Dotson thing, where like Jahan Dotson's going to be a good player. Is he going to be what Olave is for the Saints? You don't know. No, Olave was better last year.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
Look at the stat. Put their stats side by side. It's literally Dotson has half the catches. He has half the yards on half the targets and more touchdowns. So if they're the same guy.
Yeah, the only
Olave was all the Saints had. He had one quarterback and he got a ton of targets. That's why he put up bigger numbers because he
72 catches, 1,042 yards, 4 touchdowns. They have Alvin Kamara. Let's relax. Olave was better. But doesn't mean Jahan Dotson wasn't great. That's the thing. So, like, the same thing this year. So, Christian Gonzalez might be the better player, but Emmanuel Forbes can still be a really good player for us, and we can be happy with him.
Let me read this little thing here about Forbes from I think it's Dane Bergler, draft scout person. Forbes, rail thin build, marginal play strength are concerns along with his over aggressive tendencies. Yep. But he is light-footed and along with the mental processing and confidence hey, he's confident.
Hey,
so okay.
Mental processing. There you go.
Hey, can he play quarterback?
You like mental processing
as a quarterback. Confidence to play in the NFL. NFL teams willing to overlook his slightness will find a damn good player. That's what it says. He's
a good. I agree. I agree with all of that. I mean, Trayvon Diggs may not be the worst as far as like play style. Trayvon Diggs, that's not a bad comp. I mean, obviously, I don't think they're the same build, the same kind of athletic traits or anything like that. But the mentality there is definitely he's got that ball hawk, which means he's going to give some stuff up in addition to making plays. Yeah. But I mean, that's Trayvon has turned into an all-pro by doing that. So. He still gives up plays.
Forbes' best friend is going to be the pass rush,
to
where he can, the ball's coming out quick and he can read the ball and make plays on it. I think when it starts to turn into a physical battle, I think that's bad for Forbes. I think he's going to struggle a little bit with receivers coming off the line. Can he jam at 160 pounds? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's going to have to be an off corner, So I don't know. Dale gave him a 6, by the way, 6 out of 10. He says Eric is exactly right.
Yeah.
We hear that so often on this podcast in the comments. Yeah. Eric is exactly right.
I think I get he doesn't know what he's talking about. That's what I get.
I don't know.
Man. Who the Buccaneers take? Is it Will Levis?
Yeah, they could do that. Because all they got is
Baker Mayfield
and Al Trask.
And Trask, yeah.
Nope. It's Kalijah Cansey, defensive tackle.
Okay.
What is going on with Will Levis, man? Wow.
Dude, I mean, that you were saying it all along. Somebody's going to drop, and I heard a lot of talking heads earlier in the day saying that it's very similar or very possible that only 3 quarterbacks go in the first round. I think Seattle and Minnesota coming up are quarterback destinations. Seattle second pick in the draft, and Minnesota. Who overall, I mean, they need help on defense. But I mean, a lot of the top defensive players are coming off the board.
Yeah.
Now, I think, with Minnesota, if they don't go quarterback, they go defensive back. They go like Deontay Banks there. But yeah, I can see Hendon Hooker or Will Levis showing up in Minnesota or Seattle.
You saying Deontay Banks just reminded me he was still on the board.
Yeah, Deontay Banks is still on the board.
We
Yeah.
could have totally traded back.
Yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
it's really, I have to believe that the deal wasn't there. It's the only thing I can come up with.
Yeah.
And they really didn't like Christian Gonzalez or Deontay Banks.
Yeah.
But like Banks to me is like a bigger version of Emmanuel Forbes, though. That's the thing. Like he's a similar player. He's just like sturdier. But they like Forbes. He's going to be our Trayvon.
We're never going to hear it, but I would love to know what it was about Christian Gonzalez that made them pass on it. But my gosh,
dude. It's not going to be anything. I feel like Ron gets stuck on certain qualities, and if that quality like is the last thing to affect him, then that's what he goes with. Like, the season before, the pass rush wasn't what he wanted, so I'm going to go get Fidarian Mathis. This year, I bet you it's because we didn't intercept a lot of passes. So I'm going to find a guy in the draft who intercepts a lot of passes. And that's what he did, ignoring all the other qualities. I'm going to go get Emmanuel Forbes, even though this other guy, because if the Patriots take a cornerback, you got to look at that because they produce good cornerbacks on the regular with just any old buddy. So the fact that they got somebody,
they traded back to get Christian Gonzalez too. They moved back in the draft. So
they probably were sitting there like, did Washington really just pass on that guy? That's probably what they were doing. They were like, couldn't believe it.
It's a little while. I guess scouts maybe were, who knows? Maybe New England would have taken Forbes instead of Gonzalez as well. Who knows? So it's a little bit of a head scratcher. But again, I like Forbes, and I'm not going to back off of that. It just makes me a little sad that I think we could have done better at that pick.
If he
turns into an all-pro, we're going to delete this from the internet.
Yeah, exactly. If we could have traded back, gotten like Harrison and picked up Forbes too, I think that I would have loved it that much more.
It's, you know what? A few things I want explanations on in this round. Why the Colts went Anthony Richardson over Will Levis when the entire time it was rumored that, granted, that could have been complete BS. It seemed like it was.
Yeah.
Why we picked Forbes over Gonzalez? Why? Why these defensive tackles and defensive linemen are going above some of these other players on the board, and no-name guys that were generally thought to be second-round guys are going now. And it's just wow, man.
Yeah. I had read as Richardson goes. I mean, I think Stitchen's offense he's got the blueprint for bringing Richardson along, right? I mean, he did it with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
I mean, I doubt Indianapolis is probably going to throw like single digits forward passes for a good chunk of this year in games. It's going to be Jonathan Taylor and Richardson running. But the Forbes pick over Gonzalez, man, that's wild. Not going to get over that for a while.
I guarantee in the press conference, the first thing out of his mouth about Forbes will be his ball hawk interceptions. I guarantee that'll be the thing that attracted them to him, because Ron gets single kind of minded like that. It was like, oh, well, we didn't have any interceptions, so let's go find a guy who can get interceptions. And I guarantee that'll be how he describes it. We got to get interceptions.
Look, Polkai Great, who's a great Twitter follower. I'm reading his feed right now. He says, glad we took the best man coverage corner in the draft, considering we don't run man. Guys, Commanders Nation, I'm telling you, this is going to be a decent to good pick for us. We just got to let it marinate a little bit. Yeah.
And they've already updated him on the Googles to so the one thing I will say about Forbes over Gonzalez is Gonzalez was really like a one-year wonder. He really didn't excel until this year. He played a couple of years, I think, at Utah State or Colorado. Yeah. And he was okay. Whereas Forbes is a 3-year starter at Mississippi State, and he's produced all 3 years. So that could have something to do with it as well. But yeah, it's wild. The draft is a crazy. I don't even know who's been picked since then. I'm not even paying attention anymore. It's a little bit crazy.
Is Joey Porter Jr. still on the board?
Joey Porter Jr. still up there. Yep.
Wow. But no other cornerback's been taken. It's just been those three: Witherspoon, Forbes, and Gonzalez, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Gonzalez is a commander. No, he's not. I love it, man. Twitter, social media is so funny. Like,
yeah,
the Commanders sit and pick taking Mississippi State cornerback Emmanuel Forbes at 16. And Ian Rappaport says he was their guy all along.
Was not involved. Soon to be new owner was not involved in the process.
That's for the best, because that just makes it easier to let the staff go.
Yeah, exactly.
At the end of the season. So
this would be, I wonder,
Forbes is
farewell tour for Ron.
It's got to be. I mean, at least, it could have been worse. He definitely could have taken a quarterback, which would have been even worse. A defensive back has a better chance of surviving a regime change than the fourth quarterback off the board in the draft.
Honestly, I might have been happy with another defensive tackle at the 16. Just go ahead and just
Man, you are just salty.
Go out in the blaze of glory.
I tell you what, social media is not loving this pick right now.
That's all right. I will stand alone in the face of social media.
No, I think he'll be a good player. I just thought there was one guy literally a little bit better than him. So because if we would have gotten him in the second round, I would have been super happy about it. I would not have, or even if we would have traded back to like 26, 27, 28 and gotten him, I would have been happy about it. I just think the guy ahead of him is a little bit better. So I think he'll be just fine.
Now he's behind him.
What's that?
Christian Gonzalez is now behind him.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. Oh, here you go. Commanders GM Martin Mayhew and Senior Director of Player Personnel Eric Stoth were both defensive backs. So they apparently they scouted him very well, and they like him better.
Oh, the Seahawks are going up against the clock now. 45 seconds left.
Yeah. I can see quarterback here. I can see Hendon Hooker being the pick here.
Happen. They believe in Geno. Okay.
Yeah, but Geno's getting old. He's already in his 30s.
Nolan Smith, is that the pick? No, I guess that's not the pick. Sorry.
What do they date? It says the pick is in. Who was their first pick? Who did they get?
They took this is so long ago. Defensive player.
Yep, Nolan Smith is the guy.
No, wait, did they go defense with number 5?
No,
I don't remember.
Yes, it was, but it was just not the defensive player we thought they were going to get, I think. But they got Nolan Smith now.
They took Witherspoon. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, they took Witherspoon. Everybody thought it was going to be Jalen Carter, but it was Witherspoon was their first pick.
Seattle,
so
they believe in Geno. I'm telling you, man, they really do. Wow, they had Nolan Smith plus Witherspoon. So Witherspoon's comp was Marcus Peters.
Oh, Witherspoon.
Hassan Reddick. That's a good draft. Hassan Reddick comp, excuse me. That's a really good draft.
Those are good draft comps.
Yeah. Hassan Reddick turned out to be a really good pass rusher.
Well, yeah. And then you got the Chargers on the board. They're not taking a quarterback. Baltimore's not taking a quarterback. Levis might not get taken in this first round, man.
Baltimore will take a quarterback. They're going to take Stetson Bennett in like the 6th or 7th round because that's Stetson Bennett's offensive coordinator is the new Ravens coordinator, Todd Monken.
Yeah. If Levis doesn't go to Minnesota, he could very well fall out of the first round.
Dale is on it. He said everybody's so critical for our pick. However, wait until we trade for Taylor Heineke in the second.
We brought him home. There you go.
No, I'm looking at the next couple of teams. Chargers, no. Ravens, no. Vikings, maybe. And if you're the Vikings, you take Hooker or you personally, Hooker or Levis?
I would take Hooker over Levis.
I've always liked Hooker better.
If you need a quarterback this year, I would actually take Levis first. But if you have the opportunity to let somebody develop, I would take Hooker because I think he's a long-term better player than Levis.
Yeah, if he doesn't go to the Vikings, he's not going in the first round unless a team trades back up into the first round. Because after the Vikings, you have Jacksonville, the Giants, Cowboys, Buffalo, Cincy, New Orleans, who just got Derek Carr, the Eagles, and the Chiefs. There's no spot for him, man. Yikes. Yikes.
Yep.
Man.
Oh, and he's still sitting backstage too, with the camera panning over to him.
Oh man. Well, hey, Emmanuel Forbes, Declassified. We'll put it out next week or something, guys. Let's do our homework on this guy and come back and give the listeners
Wide receiver, Jackson Smith and Jigba to Seahawks.
Is that what it was? It wasn't Nolan Smith?
No, that's what it just popped up here and said.
Smith and Jigba.
Yep. Which is good. Get Geno some weapons. That's a good pick for them.
He's got Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf already.
Hey,
yeah,
that's
a
perfect.
weird pick, man. That's a really weird pick.
I mean, Lockett's going to be like exclusively slot at this point. Actually, no, Smith and Jigba was a slot guy at Ohio State, now that I think about it. So, yeah. It'll work. I mean, it's more weapons, the better.
Yeah.
I guess Ellie's right. They do believe in Geno.
Yeah, that's good.
Around him with weapons.
Wow.
Below average weight distribution.
He's still looking up Emmanuel Forbes.
Oh, man.
Come on, Brian. It's going to be all right.
Brian's found his new Bobby McCain.
Yeah, yes. He very well could be. McCain. The only thing that'll make this better is if we get Anton Harrison at tackle or some type of offensive lineman.
John Michael Schmidt. John Michael Schmidt's in the second round.
I'll take
Anton Harrison, Steve Avila. There's plenty of good offensive linemen, which we will ignore and take a defensive tackle or an edge rusher.
They don't think it's
second round.
They think our line is fine. They think our line is fine.
Yeah, left tackle doesn't. I mean, I know that they like Charles Leno a lot. I don't know why, but they do like Charles Leno quite a bit at left tackle for whatever reason, and he's under contract. But interior offensive line, I know they have to acknowledge that they need a center. I can't imagine that dude from the Giants with a half a leg is going to be.
Chase Roulier is still on the team somehow. Like he's played
for like 3 weeks. You know, he's going to be injured. Yeah, injuries are just too big of a deal for him, and he's on the wrong side of 30 at this point. But who knows, man? We don't know. We clearly don't know anything because none of us called Forbes at 16. Even though I like him.
With Forbes, I think I did mock Forbes to us at 16 in the mock draft a while ago.
You mocked Huey Ringo.
Yeah.
Well, look at this. We might have one of the fastest secondaries on paper. What's Benjamin St. Juice's 40 time?
It's not that fast. He's in the 4 or 5 range.
I don't think Fuller's a burner either.
No.
Well, yeah, I was thinking of Forrest and
what's his name? The other safety they drafted last year is pretty fast.
Percy Harvin.
Butler.
Yeah, Butler's fast.
Yeah.
He's a 4.3 guy. And Derek Forrest, I think, he's probably a 4.4 guy. So one fast safeties and one fast corner.
Brian is going through it right now, man, dude. This is good. Oh man. Oh man. I just, what's weird to me about the pick is just that I feel like I don't know. I cannot figure out who in the room was banging the table for Forbes. I don't think it was Del Rio, but maybe it was. But I know they sat down in the offseason and must have said playmaking is an issue in our secondary. And they're right.
I mean, it is. We don't get a lot of interceptions, especially from the cornerback position. It's hard. Yeah, who's the new defensive secondary coach? Maybe they were banging the drum. Did they even hire one?
I thought they did.
Yeah, I'm sure they did, but it's wild. I don't. It's a head scratcher for sure. But they clearly, they liked Forbes better than they liked the other guys because the other guys were there and they took Forbes anyway. So it's not like they settled for their 4th favorite corner. They got the guy they wanted. So we'll see how it works out.
Oh, here's some good news. Jalen Ramsey, NFL cornerback, star cornerback. Love that pick. Emmanuel Forbes is like that. So there we go.
Hey, Jalen thinks he's like that. And you know what? Jalen's like that. So
Yeah,
I'll
exactly.
buy it. I'm telling you, I do like Emmanuel Forbes. I like him a lot, and I go back and watch the tape. I've been banging the drum for him all offseason, but
On
16's a
January
little high.
23rd, Kamari Felton on Twitter, King J4242, said, Washington fans, how y'all feel about drafting Emmanuel Forbes, DB from Mississippi State, with the eye emoji, 4 of them, in fact, and he tagged us in that. So you nailed it, Kamari Felton.
There you go. At 16, though, did he say at 16? Because, I mean, I said it too in January.
Yeah.
I just didn't say 16. I said 47.
Yeah, that's crazy that I don't think maybe until like yesterday I think I saw people with some mocks on Twitter that had Forbes at 16, but it was so late in the game I didn't think that was possible.
I guess as you get closer to the draft, maybe the information gets a little more accurate. The leaks start leaking. And like I said, the Commanders clearly like him better than the other corners because they were all sitting there and they took Forbes. So hopefully he's the guy.
Yeah, Chargers pickers, man. They got to be going what do you say? Receiver, defense? Oh, Quentin Johnson. That's a good pick for them. That's a really good pick for them.
Was that Josh Doxson? Who's that?
Quentin Johnson, man. Yeah. TCU.
Yeah, that's another jump ball specialist. This guy, he doesn't.
Yeah, Quentin Johnson. I don't love him over like. I don't like him. I don't like that pick at all. They already have Mike Williams, don't they?
Yeah.
What about Keenan Allen? Is he?
Yeah. But like Mike Williams is a similar player, but more developed. Quentin Johnson, yeah, he is like a Josh Doxson type. I mean,
is Josh Doxson still, or not Josh Doxson? DeAndre Carter still like the 4th or 5th wide receiver there too? Because he was there last year and their kick returner.
He had a good season for them too.
Yeah, he had a really good season. Yeah, there it is. Quentin Johnson, 6'2", 208, 4.52. Size, speed. His comp is Sidney Rice from way back in the day to the Vikings.
Sidney Rice. Oh, yeah. What a horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little high because Jordan Addison's still out there. Zay Flowers is still out there.
Yep. The thing with Zay Flowers is he's just so small. I think they said 5'8", 200 pounds or like 190 or something like that. He's
like a bowling ball.
Yeah.
That's what's his name? Never mind. I had a comp for him in my head, but I can't think of his name, so I'm just gonna shut up.
Nagandi Asamoah.
That's a Gonzalez comp, actually. Asamoah. That's a good comp for Christian Gonzalez.
Yep. You know what? It's a good comp for me right now.
Going to bed.
Yes. Yep. This live stream is ending. Yeah. Wait, real quick. Final thoughts on the pick, Brian. I'm gonna start with you since I know you got the most to say.
It was the best pick that we could possibly have. He will be a great player for us. He will be a good player, and I'm very excited about the pick. There we go. This is not a hostage letter. I'm not being forced to say these comments at all. No, but seriously, he'll be a good player. I did like him. I had picked him in my mocks a couple of times in the second round. I never thought he would be a first round pick. So no, I think yes, the ball skills. One of the things that I do remember that I do like about him is he's said that, part of the reason for his interception stuff is he watched a lot of film on receivers and offenses and things like that. So he's prepared when it comes to game time. So that I do like. I think that will fit right in because we need guys who are prepared and who are ready and can make some plays for us because we don't intercept too many passes. I think that the pick six that Kendall Fuller had in that last game of the season was what second one all year or something like that. Like we need more of those types of turnovers. So, hey, good pick. and we'll see what happens tomorrow.
I like it, man. Eric, final thoughts?
Hey, you're gonna like this, Ellie. Forbes broad jump almost 11 feet.
Yeah.
So there you go. To go along with that 4.3540. He
There you
there
go.
might have been a tailwind. He was like a kite when he jumped that. But
Yeah.
they should be able to put some weight on him. I bet you I'm going to go ahead and say he's going to play at about 170, between 175 and 180 when all said and done.
way.
They're going to start feeding him sandwiches day one. He's going to pack on some weight.
If he hasn't gained weight by now, he probably can look at a bag of Oreos and like lose 5 pounds.
Now they're going to get him on the protein shakes and the and they're going to order him a quarter steer. And his assignment will be to eat it by the start of the season. They'll put a little bit of weight on him, and he's going to be a good player for this team. I've liked him all off season. I'm not going to shy away from that now. I do like him a lot. A little unorthodox to take him that high, I think, but I'm a big fan. He's going to be a good player for this team.
Yeah, I think actually a 4.340 and a near 11-foot broad jump is not that great for the broad jump. Now that I think about it,
What,
dude? The guy almost got, who was the guy from the Cowboys? He got like 11.9 or something like that, right? For a guy his size, as little as he is, I think 11 foot's not that great, man. For the explosives, because what the broad jump tells you is explosiveness, right? But to run a 4.340 and to only get an 11-foot in the broad jump, it doesn't seem to jive. It's good, but it's not good for his athletic profile. Anyway, I like the pick. I like the pick. It's going to create turnovers in the defense. Could there have been more exciting picks? Absolutely, for me. But I like it. We need turnovers in the secondary. I think he's going to get that. That's going to change our defense dramatically. So I'm with it. We'll see what happens in the run game outside. But that's what Derek Forrest is for. He can come help in the box and knock guys out. So
I got one last thing here. Troy Apke was one of the most athletic defensive backs to ever go to the combine. His 40-yard dash, 4.34. So he's a little bit faster than Forbes. His broad jump was like 10 feet 11.
Yeah, that's what Forbes was, 10 foot 11.
So
Troy Apke, we drafted Troy Apke. Is that what you're saying?
We did.
Troy Apke is why you should not trust the combine.
Yeah.
Troy Apke ran that 40 at 200 pounds, though. He ran that 4.34 at 200 pounds.
Right. That's why I say his broad jump should have been a little better to me.
But what you did say earlier, I think it was you, Ellie, that said the magic number for cornerbacks is 6'1" for height. All the best cornerbacks in the league are 6'1". Guess what? Guess how tall Forbes is? He's 6'1". He's 6'1".
I'm glad you recalled that, because that's absolutely true. And boom, Brian. See, we got a great corner, man. Let's go.
Hey, I'm excited. I want to see the rest of the draft. I'm excited. I need offensive linemen.
Baltimore pick is in real quick. Who do you guys think Baltimore took?
Tight end. They're taking Kincaid. Somebody's taking Kincaid.
Actually, that makes sense.
Pair him with Mark Andrews. That's a good pairing.
Dude, they got the Isaiah guy likely last year. I don't think it's going to be tight end.
Yeah, he's not likely to be any good. He was way overrated, man. Everybody said he was going to be that dude. He's just a guy.
Zay Flowers. They are loading up for Lamar Jackson.
They got Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I figured it'd be
Kincaid's there in round 2, which he might be because he's dropping like a rock too.
Dude, that Ravens Eagles Super Bowl is going to be nuts.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It will be, because it ain't going to happen.
We'll make it there.
All right, everybody. Thanks for checking us out. We're out of here. We're going to have, before we go, listen up. We're going to do an Emmanuel Forbes Declassified episode very soon. We're going to tell you every minute detail that you could possibly need to know about Emmanuel Forbes. We did this. Eric, hold me true to this, with Benjamin St. Juice. And everything we said in that episode came true. True or false, Eric?
We know our DBs for sure.
Our draft episodes, post-draft declassified episodes are can't-miss material, because we nail it, and we're going to do it for you guys again. Be on the lookout for that. Coming in a couple of weeks, we'll go through the entire draft class and tell you guys everything. Brian, what do you got?
If you listen to audio, do not worry. It's coming back. We're fixing it. It will be back. So if not, stick with us on YouTube. But the audio is coming back here shortly.
Yep, it'll be up soon. All right, have a great night. Everybody get some rest, because the draft returns tomorrow. We won't be live tomorrow, but the draft will be. We got some information coming for you soon. We're out of here. Thanks for checking us out. Emmanuel Forbes is the pick. Let's go.